folks, something big happened yesterday, and it was actually the debut of the World Liberty Financial Token. This is the decentralized finance protocol that the Trump family has been building for, I think, over a year now. And we've been hearing about it. It's been very hard to get access to the token, and it hit the public markets yesterday, and it hit with a splash. Had a massive multi-billion-dollar valuation, and it shows us that what we call altcoin season is coming. What does that mean? Well, we've seen the market dominated by Bitcoin ever since the start of the ETF in January of 24. We've seen recently Ethereum with an all-time high and its ETF that's doing really well. But we also saw Solana go above 200, which is another sign. But we want to see those smaller cryptos start going big. And when World Liberty Financial debuts at a $5 billion plus valuation, that's exactly one of those signs. Also, one of the investments we made in something called Story Protocol had a huge jump over the weekend. And Martini, I know I was posting in the Telegram group on Saturday. I was actually, out and about, and the token popped up, and it was like $6.70 up to $7. And I was like, okay, hasn't been at $7 in a couple months. That's pretty cool. I did a screenshot in the group. I looked back 30 minutes later, it was at $8. Okay, that's a huge move. That's like a 15% move in 23 minutes. And from there, it went to 820, 850, 860 something, hit an all-time high at like 870, to where our investment, that protocol is now worth between $2 and $3 billion. And we have a chunk of it. We also own some of the equity too. So we have kind of double dipped in that protocol. And, it's nice to see one of our bigger tokens starting to really print those big gains. And we know it's only a matter of time before that starts dripping down into other protocols that we own. It starts at the top, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, BNB Chain, Cardano, Dogecoin, and then it's going to start dropping down to Cosmos, Stellar, Toncoin, maybe the World Liberty Financial, Story Protocol, Mochaverse, which is something we're in as well. And then when we get to October, November, it's going to drip all the way down into those smaller protocols. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we're positioned for. And today I'm going to show you exactly what's happening behind the scenes. I'm going to show you how you can make a lot of money, not 20% on your Bitcoin. That's boring. But I'll show you how we're making 10Xs, 20Xs, 30Xs, 40Xs on our money. And I think when Story Protocol is said and done, it'll probably end up being a 50 or 100X for us. And that'll be a great thing for our investors. What I love about when one of our investors gets 100X is it means they could have made 99 other investments and they would still get all of their money back if those 99 went to zero. And it just sets you up for a huge win, because we know out of those 99, more of those will win. And that's why we believe that crypto is the place to create that generational wealth in one cycle. And you can't really do that in the stock market. So I want to jump in today here and show you all about it. Make sure you turn those cameras on if you want to stay. And I'm going to jump in. Of course, drop me some questions in the chat. And I want to talk about what we're seeing happen today. Let me see. Raise your hands if you can see these two dudes that love crypto here on the screen. And there we go. And it's this new $40 billion Trump crypto project. It suddenly hits, and it hits big. Also, it's going to be the thing that pushes Bitcoin to $1 million. And I want to talk about exactly how that's going to happen. And like I said, I'm going to show how we're making money behind the scenes in these things called pre-sale tokens. Folks, before we get started, I just want to say this information, it's for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you are looking for that, please go find a professional. I'm also here to give you a gift, which is module 1 of our super premium program called the Investment Club. And this module is going to teach you how startups raise money on the blockchain. If you're watching this later, you can go to LeonardReal.tv/download and get a copy. And this thing is really a 19-page PDF document that's going to walk you through all the basics of how we're making millions, tens of millions, and by the end of the year, I believe hundreds of millions of dollars in these incredible investment opportunities. And of course, I also want to give you this free video. If you stay till the end of this presentation, it's going to show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. And it's going to show you how we're using these things called SAFs to make a lot of money in crypto. Nobody's doing this, no one's teaching this, and no one's giving access to the deals that we are out there. Folks, it's called pre-sale tokens. And pre-selling is a practice of buying these tokens secretly from a CEO before they're ever offered to the public. And then when they go public, a lot of times they jump 5X, 10X. We've seen 20Xs, we've seen 30 and 40Xs. And that's how we can consistently find a way to make money in what is traditionally a very volatile space. Now, a lot of you probably heard of Solana. Anybody here heard of Solana? I know some of you have. Yeah, this is one of the most popular tokens out there. I think it's the 5th largest crypto out there. And a lot of people don't know you could have bought this as a pre-sale token. So this is happening every day. There's just very, very few people talking about it. But you could have actually bought this thing for 4 pennies each if you had and only put $1,000 on that deal. Then you would have made $5 million on just $1,000 invested. Honestly, I can't think of any other place but crypto where you could put $1,000 in and get 5 million out. That's real money that can change your life forever. And it's something I think everybody should be looking into. And this is one of the deals that we did recently. This is one of the legal documents we signed called a SAFT. You can see a screenshot there. And you can see that blue circle there on the screen. That's how much we invested in the company, $200,000. You can see the red circle. We bought those tokens for 1.25 pennies. We're buying these for pennies on the dollar compared to a Solana token, which was 4 pennies. So we actually got it cheaper here. And what happened? Well, in about 4 hours, we made a $4 million profit for the members of our group. And that's real money. You know, that's the kind of money that can really change your life. It can get you to be able to take a pause on the chaos of life, on the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, and sit back and say, wait a second, am I doing what I really want to do? Am I spending time with the people I want to spend it with? If I fast forward 40 years ahead, would this be the life I want to lead? Or what am I missing something here? And that's what we want to do. We want to give you the kind of wealth to where you can zoom out on your life and make sure you're going in the right direction. Now, this company is called Skillful AI. It's actually artificial intelligence on the blockchain. And here's the CEO named Zoltan here on screen. And you see him also in the studio, because when we invest in a company, we also give them their own episode of London Real. This is the real secret, if I can tell you a secret. This is why we get the hot deals, because the CEOs and the companies want our media exposure. They want the interview, and they want our 5 million followers around the world to come in and potentially buy their token. And so here's Zoltan. He came in, did his interview. After the show, he said, Brian, this is going to 100x. Hold on to your tokens. Pretty soon, it'll be worth 20 million bucks. I said, that sounds like a plan. We'll do it. And then, of course, he surprised me and he said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. I want access to the same deals you get because I want to make money too. Now, I was surprised. You know, obviously, he's got a big job to do. He's running Skillful AI. But he said, Brian, because of your media platform, you see deals I don't see. You get tokens quicker than I get them, cheaper than I get them. And I said, okay, I've never had a founder that we invested in ask to be a member, but you got to do it the way everybody has to do it. You got to book a call with Martini and you got to pay full price, because I don't think she understands the word discount. All right. So I'll give you her number and you got to sort it out with her. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, he was a member. And so now when you come on those Zoom calls, you'll see Zoltan there. He's made about 13 of our investments with us. And it just goes you to show the caliber of brains we have on the inside. And that's one of the reasons we're making so much money. Folks, this is another deal we did. It was called Shrapnel. It's actually a game that's on the blockchain. This deal was up 20x in 20 days and made my group a $5 million profit. This is the Mochaverse. This is a digital ID system for a huge gaming conglomerate called Animoca Brands. This is Yatsu, the chairman here. I believe he's a visionary. I think he's the next Elon Musk. And this is his company and his ID system. And this was up 20x on the launch. I've had Yat on London Real about 7 times. We've done about 8 deals with him, and they've all made a ton of money. And just goes to show you again, this incredible track record we've had so far. This is Story Protocol, the deal that I was talking about, which token popped on Saturday and Sunday, and it's still up there as well. This one, we were up 22x. It's now higher. And this was the first deal we did with a massive venture capital company called Andreessen Horowitz, also known as A16Z. If you know, then you know. They're big, big power players in this industry. And one of the ways we make a lot of money is we invest with the big boys and girls. And somehow we seem to make more money when we do that as opposed to the smaller players. Folks, this is one of the 2 meme coins we did. This is called Cats. And one of our members named Christina, she put in $30,000 of this with her mom. They woke up the next morning to a $420,000 profit. You know, that was real money. And I remember she thought her phone was broken. She thought something was wrong. And it was real money. And I'm not saying that's enough to retire on, but it's really enough to give you some breathing room. And it's a great way to make up for an average Wednesday, that's for sure. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in. It's called 1RT, and it's run by this guy on the bottom left, Dan Tapiero. I believe he's the best trader in the world. I've been saying that for years, but he's actually just proven it recently because many of the companies he invested in are now going public on the New York Stock Exchange, and they're going public to massive multiples. Circle was one of the companies he invested in. The stablecoin company was up 10x at launch. He's now IPO'd eToro, Gemini's coming up, all of these big companies, and we've already made a 4x and probably make more. I think by first quarter next year, he will be the best performing fund in the entire world, not in crypto, everywhere. And it's just incredible, and we're planning to invest in his next fund. Folks, I want to show you some of the latest deals, and these are really helpful because you get to see the format of actually how we get the deals. And what we do is we have these CEOs that come and pitch to us live on these calls, and they go ahead and tell us what they're doing, how they're doing it. And what the group does is they listen to the possibilities, and then we kind of vote on whether we like this project or not. And so what you're going to see is the format itself. You'll see the members of the club talking about and voting on the project, and you'll see the deal itself. This deal is called Crypto Nights. They're the Shark Tank for crypto.
It looks like a very good project.
Production value is really high.
We've never seen anything like it.
There's a lot of opportunity here.
Crypto Nights is not just a TV show, it is a complete ecosystem. Some people call it the Shark Tank for crypto. Projects from across the globe come and pitch to a very elite set of investors. We're an Emmy Award nominated production team. I've been in the entertainment business for about 20 years. We started generating revenue even before we started filming season 1. We generated $4.9 million worth of token revenue. In season 2, we are anticipating $6 million. Plus, our goal is really to make this a global brand, and we want to lead this space with Crypto Nights.
VC funding for crypto projects is not as robust as it was last year. Is that a challenge for you right now?
From our point of view, that's not a big challenge. Projects need us more now than ever before because we give them access to that capital. Folks like Blue Whale, I think they raised like over $1 million in that one session. So that's where we make that massive difference.
So if I own some Knight tokens, I'm owning a small piece of every company that's coming on your program in the future.
That's true, every single company. By simply buying the Crypto Nights token, you could end up owning 100 different tokens.
2 thumbs up if you like this play. Arno's up, Jose 2 up, Christopher is in, Tracy's in, Federica's in, Oliver's in, Trevor's in, Camille's in, KN's in. Dr. Encore, your thoughts?
They've got the media distribution to actually help these projects do well and get the word out.
It has an excellent format. Seems to be very experienced in the media. He understands the crypto market, the crypto environment.
So this is a new and unusual project. It really is diversifying our portfolio. They already have a proven track record of being profitable in season 1.
I love the idea that it's not only investing in the production company, but also potential to invest in the other projects. I'm really excited about this one.
All right, booyah. We kind of like that, right? It's kind of exciting. It's a bit like Shark Tank. They actually, I think, have 30 million views on season 1. You go to Amazon Prime right now and watch it. I actually know a bunch of the Knights. They've been guests on the show. And 4 of our portfolio companies actually went on the show and made money. They got funded. One of them is called Blue Whale AI, whose token I think is dropping next month. And they got $1 million from the Knights. So we appreciate that as well for funding our companies. So that's one deal. The next deal I want to show you is a really cool protocol. And its CEO is an MIT Sloan professor, and I went to school at MIT, so I got a soft spot for this guy. But also because he has a patent for something called A2A technology, and that's agent to agent, as in AI agent to AI agent. Now, look, a lot of you know that we're going to use AI agents in the future, and maybe a lot of you use ChatGPT, or maybe you even use an agent to go do things for you right now, maybe to book your travel or things like that. But imagine having 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of your agents all working together. Maybe one does your nutrition, one helps you with parenting, one helps you with your business, one helps you with your sleep, one helps you with your travel plans, and they all work together. Well, to get them to communicate with each other is very difficult, and it has to be done on the blockchain because they're going to have to be doing microtransactions to each agent in order to function. This guy has seen that. He's got the patent for it. And this is Synergetics.
I think it's really incredible.
Great presentation. The guy definitely knew what he was talking about.
This is their multi-billion-dollar unicorn legacy play.
I have a track record of actually delivering on
startups. That's just me. This is me in the Agentic AI working group at MIT. We got written up in Forbes and MSN organically. And then we were also highlighted by NVIDIA at the Microsoft conference. And we have partnerships with Google, Plug and Play, Guidewire, and so on. So we are sort of like the creme de la creme of the people on this decentralized AI. We are a company that's powering the agent economy, avatars, chatbots, voice agents, and embedded systems. So the market for this is roughly $70 billion, and we believe that we can take a market share of about $7 billion out of this. We have actually deployed agents in the field. We are currently generating revenues. This year we plan to crack low 7 digits.
Show me some thumbs here, please, everybody on the call. So Camille likes it, Christopher Molson likes it, Petia likes it, Daniel Walker likes it. We got Jacqueline Capstead with 2 thumbs up, 2 up from Paul, 2 up from Henry Shiner.
I think this can be a real success. I do see the differentiators with the many other agentic plays we've seen.
He really knows his stuff, his experience. I think it's really incredible.
I'm actually working for a financial institution, and we're currently implementing a lot of the AI agents that he's talking about.
You don't teach at MIT Sloan unless you're somebody that's up there. And he's had successful exits for large amounts of money.
We're investing in an expert in his field, and he is at the top of his level.
Folks, this is the big news, and that's World Liberty Financial Token, okay? And it was sold to investors, really, as this Trump DeFi platform, okay? And yesterday, Trump posted on Truth Social, today is the day, right? And after a year of working on this, the World Liberty Financial Token is going live, and it went up and up and up and up. Yesterday, it became the 24th most valuable crypto token out there with a valuation of 5.5 billion, all right? So the Trumps had already made multiple billion in crypto. Now you can tag on another 5.5 billion to that score, right? In addition to that, they also created a New York Stock Exchange shell company called Alt5 Sigma. The whole purpose of this company is to buy World Liberty Financial tokens. And so far, they bought 1.5 billion worth of those tokens. So you've got 2 ways to invest in this company. You can literally go on to your 401k or whatever it is, or any stock trading platform. You can buy it as any stock you would, or you can go buy the token right now on any exchange and you can buy it that way. So here's 2 ways to get involved in what Trump believes will be the next best DeFi platform. Now, of course, some people are calling for Bitcoin to hit $150,000 in the next few weeks. And the truth is, we're not far from that right now. It could go even higher. People are calling for Ethereum to go to $10,000, which would be amazing. That's twice its all-time high. And now Standard Chartered Bank is even calling for a $500,000 Bitcoin. Eric Trump, which is Trump's second son, called for $1 million Bitcoin when he was at the Bitcoin Hong Kong conference this last week. And most people now believe it has an easy chance to getting to 1 million. Some believe it's going much, much higher. And now we know there's a new wave or a $15 trillion earthquake that's headed straight for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and more. Folks, now is the time. The next 60 to 90 days are going to be the most exciting we've ever seen in crypto. Things are going to go literally to the moon. My question is, are you invested, and are you invested in the right thing? Because I believe owning Bitcoin is the stupidest thing you can do right now. Folks, I've been talking about crypto for a long time. I ran for mayor of London last year on a pro-freedom of speech, pro-crypto platform. I wanted all the voting to be on the blockchain, the budget of London to be on the blockchain, and I actually proposed the creation of the London coin. It was going to put 100 pounds of crypto into the wallet of every man, woman, and child, all right? Now, look, London wasn't ready for me, so instead, I'm just going to make all the London reelers filthy rich instead, and it's more fun. And this is why I spend 6 months of my year in Dubai. Here I am in our studio in Dubai, sitting down with the biggest names that are going to bring us the deals that will change your life forever. Here I am with Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni. He actually runs the Dubai Blockchain Center and the AI Center, one of the most plugged in guys out there, a good friend of mine. Here I am with Uni Wong. She's one of the biggest crypto influencers. She specializes in meme coins. Here I am with Carl Moon. Carl was working as a grocery store clerk in Stockholm a few years ago, and now he's a Bitcoin billionaire, right? You'll see him driving around Dubai in his Bugatti. When he goes to Paris, he takes a private jet for him and another private jet for his Bugatti, all right? Now, I actually know Carl. He's actually a really cool guy. He actually believes in the law of attraction, and he believes that's what brought him all his wealth. And what I love about Carl is it shows me that any excuse you have is nonsense. And I hear him all the time. Brian, I don't have enough money. I don't have the time. I'm so busy. It's like, okay, really? But you weren't a grocery store clerk, all right? So anybody can make this happen. If you convince yourself you can't, then guess what? You can't. I think there was an old Henry Ford saying, right, Martini? He says, if you believe you can't, or you believe you can, you're right. And so I hear it all the time. No, it's not the right time. No, I can't do it. No, I'm not ready. Okay, you're not. But if you believe you can, anyone can make this happen. And this is Chris Crypto. He was driving a taxi in Germany a few years ago, and now he's a Bitcoin billionaire. He literally designed his life and made it happen, right? These are two guys I know very well, and I've seen their incredible legitimate success. And there's more of them out there. All it takes from you is a decision to change the way you look at the world, right? To stop living in the matrix and say, to hell with this, I'm going to go forward and make some difficult decisions, go into my fear, and start taking some ownership of my actions. If you do that, that's what crypto is about. That's what we do in the investment club. If you're not ready, keep doing what you're doing. I don't know how that's working out for you. It'll probably get the same results. Folks, right now we're investing over $5 million in 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. Why do I tell you that? Because we are super plugged in. We're literally on the cutting edge of deal flow. I would say we know more about actual deals that are getting funded and launched than most VCs out there. And it means that we can really be there and talk to you about what's happening, and we'll show you how we're making money and how we believe is the best way forward. And it all comes down to this. This is London Real Ventures, folks, the world's first media-powered investment firm. This is the vehicle that gives us the power to get you in on these incredible deals. Without this, I couldn't help you, folks. I'll be honest. But with this, I can give you access to these incredible deals. Now, what is this? This is what happens when you take a media company like London Real, 14 years, 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers, and you merge it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. Incredible. You put those together, the results are incredible. And they look like this. Beautiful. This is our portfolio. What you see here is the best of the best, the creme de la creme of Web3 investments. Each one of these companies with the potential to become a $2 billion, $5 billion protocol. It's right here, folks. All you have to do is grab it. And it's deals like this that are going to make every one of the members of my investment club filthy rich. Folks, we just hit a major milestone. We've now invested over $22 million into over 100 different blockchain and AI deals. Folks, we're bigger than most venture capital funds in the crypto space, right? We started off as a humble broadcaster, and now we're competing with the big boys and girls, and we're just getting warmed up. One of the reasons we win is because we invest with the big money. Names you've heard about that run multiple billions of dollars, like Coinbase Ventures, Andreessen Horowitz, ARK Invest, Galaxy Digital, even Warner Brothers Music. And of course, we are now getting recognized in the industry, and we were voted the best venture capital KOL of the year, which is Key Opinion Leader. I accepted this award in Singapore recently, and it was nice. I accepted on behalf of all the members of our academy. And of course, recently in Dubai, I was given a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Global Family Office Summit for our investments and our media. And of course, you know, we like to represent in the crypto community. So when I got asked to jump in the ring and lace up some gloves to teach this young man some manners, I had to do it just for the crypto community alone. And the word is he wants a rematch in Singapore, October 1st. So definitely get your tickets now. Folks, we believe the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. I want people to join our club that believe they can change the world. If you don't believe that, stay away from me, right? Take the long way, get miles away from me. I want people that are excited, that are optimistic, that want to work for it and change the world forever. We've been doing this since we started, okay? We've been pushing the envelope. We've been leading the conversations and having the best people in the world really open the world's minds. And we're going to keep doing this with our crypto investments. And of course, it all comes down with our mission statement. We're here to create a mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. And that's one of the reasons we get these great deals, because I think we have a really good value system. But of course, you guys know, for me, it's not just business, it's personal, because I got these crazy campers, these boys that are full of beans to look out for. This is Caden, who's 9 on the right. Damon, who's just turned 8 in the middle. Damn, they're gorgeous. Woo. And look, I got to look out for their future. What can I say? And the world is changing, right? It's getting scary out there. And 10 years from now, they're going to be dealing with some crazy things, right? Robots powered by AI. Their banks are going to be censoring their transactions. Their governments are going to be printing money. When they come to me and say, Papa, where's our Bitcoin? Where's our finances? Where's our safety? I'm not going to give them some excuse that I was too busy or I couldn't afford it. So I take risk every single day in order to provide for these boys and to protect them for what the future brings. My question is, are you? You know, a lot of people say they love their kids. And one of the guests on my show once said to me, he said, Brian, love is a verb. I was like, what are you talking about? Love is a verb. Never made sense to me. He said, it takes action. You know, you can say you love your kids all you want, but if you're sitting on the sofa, not doing anything, then I disagree. If you really want to express that love, you need to be going out and be proactively, like I said, protecting and providing. And so my question for everybody here is, are you doing that? Because everyone has people in their life, and the older you get, the more people are going to depend on you. Trust me, I know how that works. And you can do two things. You can walk away from it and give yourself excuses, or you could step in to the void and decide to be the person that is responsible. And let me tell you, the latter feels amazing. And so do it. But to do that, you're going to have to go into your fears. And that's what we do in the Investment Club. Folks, this is Michael Saylor. We love him. He's been on the show twice. And he believes that Bitcoin is the apex property of the human race. Michael owns $75 billion of Bitcoin, and he's buying another $40 billion as we speak. He thinks each coin is going to $13 million each. And he believes that AI and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush for Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people say, Brian, how do I learn about crypto? What website do I go to? Who do I follow on X? You know what? Don't do any of that nonsense. Listen to the OGs like Michael. Listen to him for 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours. Listen to Yatsu. Listen to Michael Saylor. So listen to, Dan Tapiero. Those are the guys, and women like Kathy Wood and women like Lynn Alden, all the people out there. They're the ones that are going to teach you about crypto. And this is what Michael said to me when he was on London Real.
We went from investing 250 million in Bitcoin to 425 million in Bitcoin to eventually $1 billion in Bitcoin to $2 billion in Bitcoin to just slightly less than $4 billion.
You said there are decades when nothing happens, and there are weeks when Bitcoin happens.
So every decade, there's some profound paradigm shift. It's such an out of the blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. What you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. What if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. I'm going to create a shared immutable ledger, incorruptible, immortal, transcendental ledger. If I can transfer $1 million of value from me to you without an intermediary, that means I have transcended the political realm.
You said, Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations.
The idea of Bitcoin was, how do I create a protocol that's fair and equitable that I give as a gift to the world that no one can control? If you're going to do it and you understand thermodynamics, and if you have any sense of genetics or biology or physics, you realize you need to be very humble in your aspirations. How do we give the gift of property rights, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment to everybody on the planet? The best idea 30 years ago was YouTube or Google Maps, Twitter or Facebook or email. I think the best idea for the next 30 years is digital energy. Everybody can own their stuff, and nobody can take it away from them.
All right, we like him, Michael, right? Michael really is a pretty impressive guy. He started the whole concept of a treasury company, which is a publicly traded company that just owns crypto. And now there's 160 companies that are doing the same. It's pretty incredible. Takeaways are that, number one, crypto is encrypted energy. Michael believes that actually it's like walking around with a pocket full of energy. It's a pretty deep thought, but worth meditating on. Number two, no government can debase it. Number three, no corporation can steal it because crypto actually transcends money. It's the soundest money you've ever experienced in your life. Folks, if it wasn't obvious, 2025 is the year of crypto. You're about to miss the whole thing, right? 2/3 have gone, and I'm telling you, you're going to snap your fingers. It's going to be New Year's Eve, and you're going to be thinking, what happened? What happened to 25? What happened? How did I miss this crypto bull run? I got too busy. Unless you take action now, you will miss one of the greatest opportunities of your lifetime. Now, I was around for the dot-com bubble, but I was too much of a punk kid to make any money off of it, even though I worked in a couple companies there. And that was 25 years ago, the last big chance there was to make money. This is the second big chance. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait another 25 years. This is the first time ever where anyone in the world can take advantage of these opportunities. Anyone in the world right now can go buy World Liberty Financial tokens. You could be in Madagascar. You could be on mainland China on a VPN. You could be in Argentina. You could be in Arkansas, and you could buy these things, right? And so we've never seen opportunities like that. So what is your excuse? The time to go in is now. So where and how do we invest? Well, first you have to find the hottest trend, and I'm going to share with you our investment thesis shortly. But there's one thing you need that you'll never find on your own, because we tried doing it on our own in the beginning and it was impossible. And that is deal flow. It's very, very, very hard to get access to the hottest deals on the planet, because the truth is only about 0.01% of the deals make the big money, the 10Xs, 20Xs, 50Xs. The rest either do nothing, and most of them lose all of your money. And so if you don't get involved in the right deal flow, you're going to get taken to the cleaners. And that doesn't mean you're going to lose the 10 grand you decided to allocate towards crypto. You'll probably walk away losing everything. And I've seen it happen to a lot of people. And that's why I've been traveling the world for the last 5 years, building the relationships with the people that will bring us the deals that will create you millions of dollars. And it happens the old-fashioned way, in person. And here I am on the left, hanging out with Carl the Moon and Chris Crypto, building those relationships. I'm hanging out with members of government here in Dubai, influencers, VCs. From there, I took a flight to Paris, France. I sat down at an exclusive dinner with some of the biggest VCs out there, some of the hottest crypto projects. I was doing media, shooting documentary films, more influencers, more VCs. Then it was back to London. I had an interview with Yatsu at London Real Studios, went to the Token 2049 conference, more influencers, more VCs, then to Austin, Texas. This is for the Consensus Conference. I got to hang out with William Shatner of Star Trek, one of my childhood heroes, Alex Jones, of course. And on the bottom right, we had dinner with 14 members of our investment club. You can see those people down there just having a good old time. And why wouldn't we be, right? We're making a boatload of cash, doing something we love, and changing the world. I think it's every little boy and little girl's dream to do that. And we're loving it. And we're going to be doing this for the next 10, 20 years. From there, I was off to Singapore. And here I am in the white suit and the orange suit and the red suit and the pinstripe suit, definitely trying to get a lot of people's attention out there. And it seems to work, because the crazier the suit is, the better deals I get. And these suits have actually made us a few $1,000,000. And like I said, don't tell my tailor he'll want to cut. And he will, knowing him. So hopefully you're not listening, Terry. From here, I was off to Toronto. And again, a little bit more of the same, hanging out with big influencers, talking with the VCs. And you can see in the bottom right, that's me and about 35 members of our investment club. We're having a good time. Some of them are trying to wear suits even louder than mine. And we love hanging out together because it's just like-minded people making a lot of money, changing the world. And of course, I always end up back in Dubai, which is kind of a second home for me. And here I am on stage interviewing people. I was premiering one of my films, and also hanging out with CZ, who's the OG from Binance there in the middle. And that's what we do, folks. This is the way we bring the deals to you that'll change your life forever. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. What do I mean? Well, this is a snapshot of the number of deals we're going to look at every single week. We're going to choose 3 or 4 of these to come on our call. You're only getting the best of the best. But it's more than that. You have to understand the financial tools. What do I mean? Well, first you have to understand the thesis. So we believe that early stage Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence investments represents the hottest opportunity on the planet. Why? Well, number 1, you buy at these super low valuations. Number 2, you see the biggest gains possible. Number 3, you invest in what I call the biggest dislocation of wealth in human history. Yes, it's high risk, but the reward is even higher. And what am I talking about? You know, pre-sale tokens. Nobody is teaching this. Nobody is giving you access to deals that can make these crazy returns. It's like everybody ignored this. All they do is push you to go to an exchange and buy something after it's launched. Big mistake, right? And here's the example. A lot of you have heard of Solana. Some of you own Solana, right? And here's the example. You can see here that in this red circle here on April 5th, 2018, you could have bought Solana tokens for how much? Look at the blue circle, 4 pennies each, all right? This is on the blockchain. It's public information, but it's very hard to find because the Coinbases of the world, they're really going to want to not see it is what they're going to want, right? They're going to want you not to see that you could buy it at 4 pennies when you could have bought it for $200. Now, what if you had? Well, you know what would have happened. $1,000 invested at the pre-sale token price of 4 pennies would be worth $5 million today. That is real money. That's enough money to change your future. And you could have had it with one deal, right? Now, look, $5 million, you can do a lot of things with that. You could buy one Bugatti, maybe buy a few private trips on a jet, maybe buy a beachfront property, maybe in a smaller place in Dubai. But for me, the money equals freedom. And what I'd really like for you to do with this money is use it to take a break, unplug from the matrix, right? Maybe quit your job, maybe figure out what you want to do next. And I believe that money equals freedom. And I want you to have the freedom so you can really figure out why you're here on this earth. I think we were all put here to do something, to give it back to the world. And I think most people will die without ever realizing what that is. And we want to give you that breathing room in order to do it. Now, I always ask people, did you get to invest in Solana at 4 pennies each? And nobody ever raises their hand because getting access to this deal is nearly impossible. And why didn't you get access? Well, the reason is that you didn't know somebody like me. You didn't have a Brian Rose in your life that could have texted you on the morning of April 5th and said, hey, Kate, how would you like some Solana for 4 pennies, right? What if we could go back and do that, right? How would you like to put $1,000 in for a potential massive upside? Now, I know that sounds like a hypothetical situation, but it's what I do every day. And if you're in my Investment Club Telegram channel, which you aren't because you're not a member, but if you are, you would get one of these messages from me every day. And what it is the latest hot deal, usually has a video trailer, and at the bottom, there's a link, you click it, and in 30 seconds, you can invest in one of these deals. Synergetics, Story Protocol, Mochaverse 20X, bam, 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 bam. My job is every day to get you the hottest deals, and then you make the decision. I don't invest your money for you. You make that choice. And of course, always reminds me of one of my favorite movies called Wall Street. I need to watch it again. It's been a year. Where Gordon Gekko says the most valuable commodity I know of is information, right? Old Gekko knew it wasn't about a stock or a bond or a piece of gold. It was about the right information at the right time. Again, remember, if you had had that Solana pre-sale right there at 4 pennies, you would have made the money. And so my job is to get you the highest quality of information. Every single day, you're going to get a text from me with a new deal. And it'll say, hey, do you want in on this? You make the decision. My job is to line them up for you, and then you get to just knock them down. Folks, if you want to create this wealth, you have to pull the trigger. And that's where most of you are failing. You're too scared to go in and do something new. And I get it. It's very strange. It's very scary to pull the trigger on something that's unknown, right? Our brain creates these big, big phantoms. It's going to ruin our life, and it's so scary. So we just play it safe. But playing it safe is one of the most dangerous things you can do. And it reminds me of a video one of my mentors used to play to me. And he was trying to show me and a bunch of people in the room that we were playing it too safe. And he used to make fun of me. And he said, Brian, you're an engineer. And you damn engineers, you guys spent all this time in school playing it safe because you build these bridges so they don't fall down. You build these planes so they don't fall out of the sky. And you miss the chance to take more risk. And he taught me to actually engineer risk in my life. And he used to play this video for me. And he'd be like, Brian, this is you. There's so many opportunities in your life. And all you do is sit around all day and you watch them go by. Yeah, there's another one. Got by. No, I don't want that deal. No, I don't want that one. No, I'm a little tired. No, maybe later. And he's teaching you, this is what most of us do. You're watching this opportunity like this today go by. Why aren't you grabbing it? It's out there. It's waiting for you. And then someone else comes along, probably stupider than you, less educated, less money, and says, yeah, I'll take that deal for 22x. Thank you very much. And you're sitting there on the sidelines watching someone else create wealth. And you're thinking, well, how come that wasn't me? Well, it wasn't you because you weren't the lion that went and jumped and had the big bite. Both of those lions were capable, and yet you're still sitting on the sidelines. And my question is, do you want to be doing that the rest of your life? Because this is most people in the world, just watching it go by with a really good reason not to jump in when there really is no reason. But when you jump in, you get this, right? This is our portfolio. And each one of the members of my group were having one of those lion moments. I was showing them a deal. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Finally, I'm like, what are you doing here? Right? You paid the price of the course. Are you going to invest? You're just going to sit there because fortune favors the brave. And then they did one. Oh, that wasn't so bad, Brian. Wow, I kind of like this. And I did a second one. Ooh, okay. 2's even better. I want 5. I want 10. Okay, now I'm set. When the market moves, I can go. Some people did 20. Some people did 30. Some people did 40. Some people did 50, 60, 70, and more deals, right? They're positioning themselves up for the big win. And it's all because of this, folks. If it wasn't for London Real Ventures, I couldn't offer you these deals that'll change your life forever. There's no way I could, because we couldn't get access to these deals because they wouldn't show them to us. The reason I can is because of our quadruple threat. This is why the CEOs give us access to their tokens. Number one is production. CEO flies to London, sit down with me, 2-hour conversation in the leather chair. We create the most beautiful piece of media they've ever recorded. Number two, we distribute it to people all over the world, right? We really put it in the front of 5 million potential customers. Number three, I connect them with the big names in the space, the Yatsus and the Dan Tapieros and all the big boys. And number four, we write them a $200,000 check. No one can say no to this. It really is irresistible. But there's one last part. How do you learn how to invest? There's one last part that I think is missing in your life, and it comes down to who you're surrounding yourself with. Now, most of you are hanging out with people that aren't getting you to the next level. And it reminds me of that quote by Jim Rohn, you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Most people agree this is true, and yet they're sitting around with the same people for the last 5, 10, 20 years. I always tell people, how many billionaires do you have in your life? How many centibillionaires do you have in your life? Now, look, I'm not saying wealth is everything. How many Olympic athletes do you have in your life? How many people that are doing a TED Talk do you have in your life? You know, are you hanging out with high performance people? If you're not, then how do you expect yourself to change? What's really happening is usually you're hanging out with a toxic family member. Usually you're hanging out with an old friend from high school that still acts like they're in high school. And there's a reason you're not going anywhere. And so I always say, you've got to get around the right group. And when I look back at my life's journey was, for whatever reason, me getting out of my comfort zone and getting around a group that was better than me and pushed me to the next level. And of course, there's Brian here on the left, 16 years old, making $6 an hour in San Diego, California. And I probably would have stayed there, would have still been there today if I hadn't found a way to get out. I flew 6 hours across the country to Boston. I got into MIT, and I really got worked hard by the students there. They were all smarter than me, and they all really forced me to get to the next level. After 4 years, I found a way to even beat them at their game, and I had gone to the next level, but I now needed another challenge. And I took those grades, and I always wanted to go to Wall Street to try to make that money. And I went there, and that was a challenge because that was full of super intense people, a room full of 300 traders, alpha males and females, each making between 9 and 12 million bucks a year. And man, you better stay away from their money. Otherwise, you're going to get in trouble, and they will really ram you over. They'll mess with your head. And it was a great breeding ground on how to learn how to make a lot of money. They taught me how to do that. And that's how I came out the other side, for creating my first few $1 million of wealth. Folks, that only happened because I surrounded myself with people that pushed me to the next level. What you need is the same thing. And so I always tell people, if you told your friends right now, I want to make 10 million bucks in crypto with Brian Rose, if you went and told them that tonight, wherever you're going to meet them in the pub or at the ball game, they would laugh at you. They'd be like, oh, come on, that's just crazy. But we don't believe that in the investment club. We believe it's true. And that's why I created my club, because I want you to stop listening to your friends and listen to someone like Marianne Bartels. Now, Marianne is one of the founding members of our club. She's a 35-year Wall Street veteran, right? She was a chief investment officer for Merrill Lynch Bank of America. She's made her clients tens of billions of dollars, all right? And what I want you to do is I want you to spend time with someone like Marianne, okay? Because Marianne, when you tell her you want to make $10 million in crypto, she's going to be like, 10 million, is that it? Come on, let's make 100 million bucks. Let's make $1 billion over 10 years. Marianne is in it to win it, and she's going to push every single person around her to get to the next level. How would you like a mentor like this in your life? Well, that's what you get in the investment club. This is Tigran. He's one of America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys. This is your new peer group, all right? You can hang out with him. He was on the call last night. You saw him there in Martini. He invests in pretty much every one of our deals. And when you hang out with him, this guy moves different. He's not talking about the ball game. He's talking about the next $1 billion deal. He was recently out in Beverly Hills with Martini and a bunch of our members, took them all out to dinner, bought them all flowers. This guy is a different level, right? You start hanging out with him, you're going to start getting more wealthy. This is Andrew Haynes, one of our technical experts. Here he is, graduating from one of the top executive training schools in Switzerland. This guy will bring you up to speed with anything you need to know about the blockchain, Web3 gaming, you name it, right? This is your new peer group. And of course, we have Dr. Encore. He was in medicine 4 years ago, took our Crypto and DeFi Academy, graduated, took our Kings of DeFi, graduated, was the founding member of the club. And then we hired him a year ago to source deals for us. He's one of the best in the business. This is your new peer group. The crazy thing is I've got 146 other members just like this who will take you to the next level. People who you couldn't hang out with in your normal everyday life, but people who will get you where you want to be. And so I'm telling you, the deals are great. The crypto is great. The community is great. I'm great. But the people in here are the ones that'll change your life forever. And this is our family. Here's some snapshots I took with people behind the scenes. And it just shows you we just love spending time with each other, love making money together, love changing the world together. And when you get us together, just great things happen. Folks, I believe your net worth is your network. How many people agree with me? Start investing in that network, right? Most people never do that. And that's what we're all about. Now, look, I believe if you give a man a fish and feed him for a day, if you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. That's what we do. Every Monday and Thursday, we teach people how to fish. And if you come to one of those calls, you're going to get better and better and better and better. And that's why we created this investment club. 4 years ago, we did our first deal as a crypto pre-sale token, a company called Cross the Ages, one of the hottest gaming companies in blockchain, and it scared the heck out of us, right? First one, didn't know what I was doing, talked to some stranger on a Zoom call, wanted me to send $100,000 in tokens to some wallet. I was like, what? No, you're crazy. He's like, Brian, you got 20 minutes to do it. And I was like, what? Here I am, Mr. Hotshot Banker, Mr. MIT graduate, and these crypto cowboys are running circles around me. And I thought, man, if I get this right, we could make a boatload of money, not just for us, but for our community. But if I get this wrong, we could lose money and everybody could lose everything they ever earned. This is, in one sense, a danger, and in one sense, the greatest opportunity. And so I talked to Martini and we agreed we were going to go forward and teach people on how to go to this journey and make a lot of money in the process. And we've never looked back. It's been our most successful product we've ever created in our history by a factor of 10, maybe 100. And here are the details, folks. It's application only. We open up 10 spaces a quarter and they're always gone. We're oversubscribed. No surprise. It's 6 modules. It's 3 months of coursework. It's a 12-month program. But guess what? It's turned into a lifetime program. No one's ever left. We do these weekly live Zoom calls with top CEOs. We actually do 3 or 4 a week now. We have a private Telegram group. You get access to all the deal flow. And if you don't know crypto, if you've never bought a Bitcoin, no problem. We'll give you a full year of our Kings of DeFi and we'll bring you up the curve. Next live call, Thursday, 7 p.m. Reach out to Martini. She'll get you an invite. We teach this remote to people all over the world. And this is the syllabus. Module 1, what is a crypto pre-sale token? I sent you that already, or you have a link to that. Module 2, what is a SAFT? A lot of people say, Brian, I don't know what a SAFT is. And I say, what do you mean? If you don't know what a SAFT is, you should be embarrassed. It means you're not investing in your financial education. How do you expect to become wealthy? They're not going to give it to you. No one's going to give you this. You got to go out there and take it. You got to fight for it. I'm going to show you what a SAFT is. Simple agreement for future tokens. It's how the rich get richer. Module 3, how to identify early winners and conduct pre-sale due diligence. I'm going to show you how to do that. Module 4, how to generate new deal flow. We'll show you what conference to go to, what ticket to buy, what to wear, and how you can really bring back deal flow and bring it back to the group. Module 5, how do we nurture these deals into multi-billion-dollar protocols? And Module 6, what do we do without the cash? You're going to have so much money, you're not going to know what to do with it. I suggest you save some, you spend some, and you put the rest back into these deals. Here's our Telegram group. Here's our Discord group. And here are the details, folks. Like I said, 10 spaces a quarter. They're gone fast. I think we only have 1 or 2 left, honestly. The investment in the next 10, 20 years of your life, probably the greatest community that you'll ever be a part of. Education, mentorship, deal flow, you name it, is $50,000. Get you the hottest deals on the planet. And look, I understand that's a significant amount of money. It is. I used to make $6 an hour. I understand the value of $1. But I also understand that could get you unlimited financial return. What if that made you $50 million? Probably the greatest investment you ever make would be in the investment club. And of course, it's your chance to take part in the greatest wealth creation event in human history. And that's ending now, probably in the next few months. And of course, our 2 deals I showed you, Crypto Nights and Synergetics, they're probably going to be gone in the next 7 days. So move fast if you want them. This is a deal from last quarter that you missed. This is a SAFT agreement, by the way. And that deal was up 466% in 1 day. Now, why do I mention this? I mention this because a lot of you are procrastinators. A lot of you are thinking, yeah, maybe later. I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little scared. And this is to show you that if you had just bypassed the frontal cortex of your brain and said, to heck with this, I'm putting 10K on this deal, you would have paid for the investment club for the rest of your life. Imagine coming to the calls with all those people. Imagine hanging out with all the influencers and CEOs. for the next 10 years, you would become significantly wealthier. And so if you can find a way to get around those fears, to get around that hesitation of watching that line, watching everything go by, and to say, to heck with this, I'm sick and tired of my government and my corporations basically taking all my money, I'm going to get it back. Well, then pull the trigger and get this done. And you've seen our track record, right? Shrapnel up 20x in 20 days, a $5 million profit. Skillful, 4 million, probably going to 20 million. Mochaverse up 20x. Story up 22x, 25x over the weekend. Cats up 14x. Our $1 billion fund up 4x, probably going higher. That Gemini company is IPOing, I think, in the next week. And folks, this is the pledge I've made to the folks in my club. I'm going to create $10 billion for them in the next 10 years. And the truth is, it's probably going to happen in 5 years. Now, what about these members? Well, they're all real people with real names. This is Carol. She says that every member is both a learner and an investor. Actually, there's a video that she made, and all of the members made videos. If you go to londonreal.tv/club, you can watch those videos, and they'll all tell you pretty much the same thing. Probably one of the greatest things they've ever done in their life. They love the community, love the vibe. This is Joe. He says the window of opportunity is closing quite quickly, and you know he's right. You're about to miss this if you don't take action. This is Jerry. He's just honored to be part of the club, loves the vibe. This is Dr. Yvette. She's a single mom with 4-year-old twins. I mean, if she can do it, trust me, you can do it, right? She's busier than you ×3, and yet she's done about 16 deals. So, you know, I just think a lot of people are using that as an excuse. You can do this too. This is Jens. He says, how can you afford not to join us? It's a great question. You will regret that decision. This is Petya. She couldn't afford the club and she joined anyways. I love the story of Petya. She forced herself to manifest the money. She found the 50K, and then she's invested in how many deals, Martini? 70 plus. $5,000 minimum. Do the math. This course helped her get that money, and it will create her and make her a very, very wealthy woman. This is Chris. He says the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. I love Chris's story because he invests alongside his son, who does 20% of the deal, gives dad $1,000 and says, I'm in on BitLayer and things like that. We've got fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends. And this is what Chris said about the club.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals. And that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week. And for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
All right, we're liking Chris, right? Love Chris, love his vibe, right? He's always super positive, as are most people in that group. And yeah, we're always really excited to kind of feature what our members do. Folks, it only takes one of these deals can really change your life forever. We always really try to remind ourselves of that. And of course, final thoughts are this: don't let this year pass you by. You've missed most of it, but there's still time left to get in on these deals. 5 deals is probably enough, and any more just gets you more and more exposure to this ecosystem. Of course, you can learn early stage investing now. What I teach you, you can use the rest of your life. Remember, the tokens on exchanges, it's too late. They have limited gains. Somebody like me has already taken a 50x out. You're not going to get another 50x on those. And of course, this is your chance to learn from elite of active investors for only $50,000. Look, I know the Dan Tapieros who run these big funds. If you asked to see his deal flow and learn from him for the next 10 years for $50,000 or $5K a year, he would definitely laugh at you and throw you out of the office. And so what we offer is actually an incredible, incredible value. And yes, it's a significant investment, but it gets you unlimited financial returns. And now, thanks to Martini, we got the payment plan. $10,000 a month for 6 months gets you in. If you have limited capital, $10K gets you in the program. You can put another $5K each on those 2 deals you just saw, and bam, you're in the game. We got tokens being generated probably in the next 30 days, and you have liquidity, which is incredible. And of course, we bring the best deal flow in the world. I always remember what Warren Buffett, I think he just turned 93, 95, crazy. He says the best investment you can make is in yourself. He's talking about your peer group. And yet most people will never even spend a penny to get around a better group of people. In fact, this is probably the biggest unlock you can get. So we not only bring you the deals, but we bring you a great group of people to take you to the next level. Folks, book a call with Martini if this is interesting to you. Could be one of the smartest decisions you make in the next 10 years. She's got links here in the chat, or you can do it here. Of course, we always say, if you do book a call with her, make sure you're serious about joining now, not next week, not next month, because she's extremely busy. She's fielding calls from people all over the world. A lot of interest from the Middle East, a lot of interest from the United States now with the regulation coming down. But if you want to have a conversation with her, she's talked to thousands of people. Figure out this is right for you, then book that call and let's do it. And of course, you can start our crypto course. You can literally jump in today on the current course. It's been discounted by 60%. It's 4 weeks, 4 modules. Again, 8 hours of live calls with me, triple tiered accountability system. You have to do the work. Dedicated coaches, team leaders. I've graduated thousands of people. It's really a great course. And you're pre-approved to buy at londonreal.tv/buy. Literally click the link. We'll get you right in, get you on the next live call. It's going to be fun. Folks, what is your why, right? These guys. Oh my gosh. Whenever I'm wondering, having a really tough day or, finding things difficult or challenging or facing resistance, I just remind myself why I'm doing this. And then I just have to realize that whatever I'm doing, it's a tiny, tiny price to pay to look after these gorgeous boys, right? And so I'm willing to do whatever it takes so I can provide and protect. And that means for me taking risk every day. And I want to make this clear, folks. If you think playing it safe is the way you're going to create generational wealth that will make you independent of this crazy financial system matrix, you're kidding yourself. What's going to happen is you're going to wake up 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now and realize that you have no savings, that you have no protection. Your government is not going to look out for, your corporation is not going to look out for you. And all of the people that look to you for support are going to be disappointed because you didn't make these decisions. You have to make these decisions. And it means going into risk and fear. And what I typically find is everything we fear ends up being not a real issue once you go through it. And what you find is that everything you ever dreamed of is on the other side of your fears. It was just right over there. All you had to do was go into them instead of running away from them, which is what most of us do. So go into them and find what's on the other side. It's a beautiful thing. Folks, here's the video I promised, londonreal.tv/bonus. It'll show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale token. So go watch that. And of course, come see our next live call on a Monday or a Thursday at londonreal.tv/club call, or reach out to Martini and she'll get you an invite for sure. That's it, folks. Please DM me some questions if you have them. And of course, we got Martini here, which is great because she is your contact person. If you go ahead and make the right decision, which is come join us, I'm telling you, these 2 deals we have are amazing. You're going to love the vibe, love the culture, and get ready for this massive bull market. Martini, I'm just curious what you're hearing from people these days and your thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. Well, great call today, Brian, and it was great to see everybody on the line today. And hello once again to everyone who's watching us on the live stream. Hopefully you were able to pick up quite a few gems that Brian dropped today, and really just taking a look at the options and the opportunities that are available to you through investing in these early stage companies that are here to change the world. So one thing to definitely take away is that it only takes one masterclass, one opportunity, one decision, one yes, one community, and one investment. And you are just really just one choice away from a completely different life. So if you are wanting to do something different and really take advantage of the opportunity with this investment club that is available to you, we want to support you in that. So I put some links inside of the chat below. The very first link is for you to go ahead and check out the Investment Club page, and that's going to give you a rundown detail of what the Investment Club is all about, what we stand for, and where we see ourselves going together as a community for the next 10 years. When you are ready to go ahead and pull the trigger and join us now and start investing alongside us now, the very next link is to go ahead and schedule a call with me. But as Brian says, I only want to talk to people who are serious, and serious means you are ready to pull the trigger and join us now and start investing alongside us now. If you don't see a time that's available on my calendar, please be sure to send me a private message on Facebook Messenger. That's always the fastest way to get me. Or you can send me an email at martini@londonreal.tv and let me know who you are, where you're from, and the best time to get a hold of you within your time zone, and we'll definitely make it work. And of course, the last thing there, I know that Brian does a great job of explaining what the investment club is, and you can definitely sense his passion and the love for the community that we have here. But we want you to experience us in real time. All right. So with that, the very last link is for you to go ahead and come on one of our live calls that we have every Monday and Thursdays, where you'll see CEOs pitching their companies over to us live. You'll see Brian doing the Shark Tank style questions, and you'll see how our amazing community gets together, 150 members from all different parts of the world, different walks of life, different income levels, and really just different perspectives. So it really is a reminder that you don't have to do it alone. All right, guys. So just remember that you're just one choice away from a completely different life. And we hope that that choice is joining us in the investment club, where we will support you for the next 10 years. All right, guys, we hope to see you on the inside soon. And back to you, Brian.
All right. Thanks, Martini. Great perspectives. And Martini has really spoken with thousands of people, and obviously onboarded 150 of those people. And so trust me, there isn't a conversation that she hasn't had already, and a perspective she hasn't heard. So, we'd love to find out where you're at, and if this makes sense for you. I guarantee it'd be one of the best decisions you ever made. And look, right now, we've only got a few months left in this year. And some people are calling for the end of the crypto cycle at end of November, early December. A good friend of mine named Michael Turpin wrote a book called The Bitcoin Super Cycle, was in the studio a few weeks ago. He's like, Thanksgiving in America, which is like November 25th, it's over. And so if that's the case, you need to act now. There's still time to get invested to make those returns, but it could be coming to an end. Now, some people say it's going to go longer. We don't know, but we want to be prepared for the worst so we can then have the best, right? And so that's what we're doing right now. That's how we're positioning. Come to our next call. You'll really enjoy it. We had a great call last night, a great project, Martini, right? Everybody really enjoyed that project. We'll probably go ahead and invest in it. And we had a bunch of newbies on that call who had never been to a call before. Some people from our Crypto and DeFi Academy, their first call, who even gave their input on the deal. And honestly, they were spot on, weren't they, Martini? They were like they really understood that at the end of the day, we invest in people. And they got a good vibe from the CEO and how he presented. And you don't need to know all the technical stuff to still make an impression, especially when you're investing alongside 20, 30, 40 other people and a group that's been investing for 4 years, who can do due diligence, et cetera. So, you're not out there alone, which is the way most people invest in crypto. You're out there alone with a Twitter feed in your room, and your friends and family think you're crazy. Like, I don't know how people do that. We got a family of people that invest alongside on deal after deal after deal with a long-term horizon. That's the best way to do it, folks. And that's what we have. So I just want to say thank you so much for everybody here. Thank you for cameras on. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And we'll see you on the next Investment Club call, or even better yet, we'll see you on the inside.